everyone. Here is a folded placket that is a good alternative to the continuous placket method that I featured in many of my other videos. Now I like both methods for different reasons, so I'm not saying that this is better than continuous placket method. It's just simply another card in my hand. So if you plan on putting pin stitches down the placket, then your garment shouldn't have a waist or like a chest seam or anything like that to disrupt those pin stitches. So basically the entire back of your garment should be one piece of fabric as you're seeing here. Otherwise, you can do this method for garments with a waist seam as long as you skip those pin stitches so the look is more fluid. At least that's my 2 cents on the matter. So also this video shows how to do a folded placket for a girl's garment. You just reverse all the steps, like replace all the left with the rights and the rights with the left for a boy's garment. So to get started, I folded the back in half and gave that an ironing so I would know where the center back was. It's just an easy way to find that center mark. And then you can cut down the crease until the opening is long enough for the size garment that you're making. From there, I folded the back in half again and measured 1/2 inch from the bottom where the opening ends. And I'm marking with a very fine pencil from Stolon, but honestly, I despise this pencil, and I just didn't have my new friction pen handy, so I'm making do. Anywho, I mark 1/2 inch over and then cut along that line. So with the right side of my garment facing up, I take the left side of the placket and fold it over so the folded edge is in line with the bottom of that 1/2 inch cut, and then I iron it down in place. Next, I do the same thing with the right side of the placket, but this gets folded to the wrong side of the garment, and it's easier if you just flip the garment around so the wrong side is now facing up, and again, iron that in place. So now with the right side of your garment facing up, take the fabric directly beneath the horizontal cut, and you're going to create a pleat with this fabric, just like with the edge of the pleat in line with the edge of the left hand side of the placket. And you can iron that down in place and add a pin if you find it helpful. Next, you're going to create another pleat by taking the right hand side and aligning the bottom of that 1/2 inch cut to the folded edge of the left hand side of the folded placket. Oh my goodness. I hope that all makes sense. You can give that an ironing and add a pin if you find it helpful. But just to clarify, this bottom spot where the 1/2 inch cut is, this is where I'm talking about aligning with the left hand side of the folded edge of the placket. And then the other thing to note here is that you want to make sure the pleat doesn't extend the first pleat. Otherwise, it'll be visible. So the last bit of folding is to take the entire right hand side of the placket and fold it over on itself. And now those pleats will be hidden and both sides of the placket are folded over twice, so all the raw edges at this point have been folded over and are neatly enclosed. Finally, I mark where I want to sew the bottom of the placket, and you'll mark 2 lines, one on either side of those raw edges from the 1/2 inch cut mark. And you can see here that I've got 1 line on either side of those raw edges. I hope all of that is making sense. And now we can begin stitching the placket into place. So since I'm pin stitching the placket into place, I'm using some Stitch in the Ditch as stabilizer. As I mentioned earlier, you can pin stitch if your garment doesn't have a waist seam. I suppose you could still pin stitch if your garment has a waist seam, but you won't have that pin stitching on the bodice. You'll just have it after the waist seam, so it won't be as fluid of a look. But as I say, it's sewing, you do you. So with the right side facing up, I start pin stitching on the left hand side of the placket. When I get to the bottom mark, I put my needle down, turn my work, and stitch across the bottom line until I get to the other corner. And from here, I'm sort of angling my placket off to the side so my stitches only go through the right hand side of the placket. Now, if you don't want to do the pin stitching, just repeat the same process with a straight stitch. There's no problem or shame in that. Finally, you can stitch across the top mark, which encloses those raw edges. And there you go, a placket that's completely finished on the machine. There's no hand sewing without any raw edges. I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, and I will do my best to answer them. And as always, I appreciate y'all for watching, and I hope to catch y'all next time.